So this is the assessment two environmental analysis is about the Ryanair, the low fares airlines. And the part one is the PASTO analysis. So the PASTO is the acronym for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. And based on the case study by Higgins, aspects in the external environment such as the regulatory issues, competition, and even the need to balance between customer satisfaction and low fares affects the airline. So for the political part, uh, the Ryanair competes in the extreme regulated business, and the way that Ryanair conducts business, for example, can be significantly impacted by change in aviation legislation. And Ryan's flight through the UK and Europe nations have been impacted by ambiguities surrounding transport rights caused by the UK's exit from the European Union. And for the economic part, the Ryan profits from the general persistence of low-cost tourism demand during downturns. And server recessions, however, may lower the need for the travel overall. And since a large amount of the airline operational costs are related to fuel, change in the price of oil have an immediate effect on Ryan's revenue, and often hedging techniques are employed to control this risk. And for the social part, and budget travel is becoming more and more popular, with passengers choosing inexpensive airlines, including Ryanair over established ones. The need for inexpensive travel choices is supported by the rising mobility mobility of younger individuals and the expansion of the upper socioeconomic class in the Europe. For the technological part, Ryanair's expenditure in digital marketing and smartphone apps and online reservation platforms have been crucial in the cutting expenses and improving consumer satisfaction. And a key component of the Ryanair's cost reduction strategy is the reduction of operating expenses and environmental impact through the use of newer, more fuel efficient planes. And for the environmental part, all airlines are impacted by the mountain drive to cut carbon emissions. Ryanair has been under fire for its environmental effects, and new rules may need the airline to make expensive investment in more environmentally friendly operations. And there is an increasing movement toward ecologically conscious tourism, which may have an impact on customer decisions and compel airlines to use more environmentally friendly procedures. And for the last part, the legal part, Ryanair is required to abide by all EU aviation rules, particularly particularly those patterning to passenger rights and the environment. And legislative modifications may have an impact on operating expenses and legal obligations. And Ryanair's unorthodox pricing approach frequently comes under investigation for violations of state assistance laws and detrimental to competition actions. And that's all for the PASO analysis.
Now my part is about like the Porter's forces analysis. So today I'll be utilizing Porter's forces analysis to talk about Ryanair's strategic position in the airline market today. So Ryanair continues to lead the low-cost carrier market, and this framework will help us comprehend the competitive dynamics and strategic issues it faces. So first of all, let's talk about competitive rivalry. It's quite high. Ryanair competes in a high competitive market. Other low-cost airlines like EasyJet, Wizz Air, and Norwegian Air Shuttle pose a serious threat to it. Every one of these airlines aim to provide the best deals on comparable initiatives. Conventional airlines also use low-cost tactics to take a piece of this market. In order to stay ahead of the competition, Ryanair needs to innovate and uphold its cost leadership consistently. Secondly, the threat of new entrants is low because entry barriers to the airline business are so high. the threat of new entrants is comparatively low. A significant amount of capital is needed for infrastructure, aircraft, and regulatory compliance. Establishing their brands and obtaining airport slots present additional difficulties for newcomers. Ryanair's cost advantages and well-established market presence serve as a further barriers to entry for prospective competitors. Next page, please. So the third is about bargaining power of suppliers is quite high. Boeing has a lot of negotiating power because Ryanair depends on them for its airplanes. Suppliers have very strong negotiating power over terms and prices because there are so few aircraft manufacturers. Because of the fluctuation in fuel costs, few suppliers also have a lot of leverage. Due to the supplier's strong negotiating position, Ryanair finds it difficult to sustain its low-cost business model. The fourth is about bargaining power of buyers is moderate to high. Due to internet booking platforms, customers in the airline business have access to a large choice of options that are highly price sensitive because they can quickly compare costs and move to competitors providing lower fares. This gives them more negotiating leverage. However, a certain amount of consumer loyalty is provided by Ryanair's wide network and frequent flights, which helps to somewhat offset this power. Next page, please. The fifth is about threat of substitutes is moderate. The threat of substitute for air travel is moderate, although there are other forms of transportation such as cars, buses, and trains. They are more practical for short-distance travel in Europe, particularly with the growth of high-speed rail systems. Air travel continues to be the most cost-effective option over longer distances, reducing the risk of alternatives. So let's talk about implications for strategy. The cost of leadership. In order to keep its cost leadership, Ryanair should keep maximizing optional savings and negotiating advantages terms with suppliers and market penetration. Ryanair can increase its market share and foster more consumer loyalty by growing its route network and frequency of flights. For customer experience, Ryanair can set itself apart from its rivals by making investment to enhance its customer service and experience, while keeping affordable fares. For innovation to increase profitability, consider investigating new revenue streams like priority boarding and in-flight sales. That's all. Thank you.
For the part 3, the key to Ryanair's ability to stand out in a highly competitive airline industry is its excellent market visibility, strong financial status, and focus on sustainability. First point, high brand recognition in the market. Ryanair has been recorded to hold a strong positive position in the customer perspective. On the basis of the case study, Ryanair has been recognized as the world favorite airline in 2010 and the largest international airline in terms of passenger number by International Airline Transport Association. In addition to this, the airline brand has also been highlighted as its largest airline in the world. This data is further confirmed by the Statista report, which states that the brand value of Ryanair as recorded in 2024 exists $2.54 billion, a figure that makes Ryanair the second most utilized airline in the whole of Europe. Therefore, based on the data obtained, it can be proved that Ryanair's high brand awareness is seen as one of the main factors for success in this context. Next page. The third point is that Ryanair has been in a very good financial status. This is because Ryanair has gained better revenue by introducing various ancillary services. According to the case study provided, a variety of ancillary services such as internet services, in-flight beverages, food, and merchandise have helped with Ryanair generate high use. This data is further confirmed in Ryanair's official report. The report shows that Ryanair profit after tax has grown by more than 34% per annum to more than 1.92 billion euro as a result of a 9% increase in passenger number to 184 million in 2024. Based on these figures, we can see that Ryanair's strategy of maintaining a strong financial position is another key success factor. Next page. The third point is that Ryanair's sustainability initiatives has helped it to achieve great success in the market. According to the case study, Ryanair purchased environmentally friendly new aircraft and reducing the average age of its fleet to 3.3 years, thus beginning to reduce its carbon footprint. This data is further supported by Ryanair's 2024 report, which highlights the increased use of electric ground handling equipment, fuel-efficient transportation strategy, and other methods. In addition to this, aircraft variant modification have reduced overall fuel consumption by 2%. Thus, based on this data, we can clearly infer that the main methods of achieving sustainability further became the main success factor for its success. That's all.
So for the last part, the strategic groups. Strategic groups can be viewed as a group of organizations in a certain industry which tend to follow similar or same strategy along the strategic dimensions. And some of the dimensions maybe include geographic breadth, product range, and distribution channel choice, and product quality levels, and degree of vertical integration, and even the choice of technology. And strategy groups for Ryanair based on the case study include low cost carriers such as EasyJet, Norwegian, and Wizz Air, and hybrid airlines such as Vueling, Aer Lingus, and Jet2, and full service carriers such as Air France and British Airways and Lufthansa. And in terms for grouping, the following variables have been considered. So the first one is cost. Ryanair aggressively competes based on fare, providing the lowest rates, and they provide free of charge characteristics with added charge for checked baggage and choosing a seat. And mainly, it operates short haul flights within Europe, but has started extending to a service to North Africa and Middle East. And they prefer using one type only, the Boeing 737 fleet, to minimize the expenditure. And from the positioning perspective, Ryanair arguably positions itself in three important categories. So for the first one, Ryanair's operating model of low-budget airline. This airline leads in a strategic group of low-cost carriers with a philosophy that emphasizes more on cost-efficient operations, higher aircraft usage, and use of the less frequented air trips so as to lower the operating cost. And expanding aggressively, Ryanair often enters new markets while offering ultra low price, so they create demand for their products and services. And the cost management, cost control is what defines Ryanair's strategy, since it is limited by the turnaround periods and reduces means of the service delivery and high employee output. And this picture shows the strategy group's map below. And based on the strategy group, there are various competitive implications for the company. So the strengths of the Ryanair, the strategy group analysis shows the Ryanair dominates the low-cost market by effectively positioning itself as the cheapest carrier compared to full service and hybrid carriers. And the challenges with the competitors such as EasyJet and Wizz Air also looking to cut down their prices. Thus, Ryanair faces growing challenging to innovate and return its price leadership. And the possibilities, Ryanair can look at the way of making customer experience a bit better without changing its low-cost structure or entering more markets that have lesser competition. So that's our reference. And yeah, thank you.